Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And today guys, we got or rather this week, we got the Supergirl finale. And I just want to talk a little bit about this awesome fight we got between Superman and Supergirl. And what's going on here? Does this prove that Supergirl is stronger than Superman? And before we can really answer that question, just the question overall, because we did see on the show that Superman was defeated by Supergirl, and he basically bestowed the title on her of Earth's mightiest hero, or the champion of Earth rather. But let's just address the question overall and look at why it would make sense for Supergirl to be stronger than Superman. And it's kind of weird because every time we think about the strongest superheroes in the superhero universe, Superman probably jumps in your head first. Out of all the heroes, or he's pretty close up there. And if you're not really, well versed on comic books, he probably will just jump in your head anyway because you see him all the time and you know he's super strong. But Supergirl never gets, put up as the somehow she escapes that category, and they call her Supergirl, they call her Power Girl, because in many incarnations of Supergirl, when she arrives on Earth, she's still very young, and based on the the situation with her traveling from Krypton. But I just want to talk about some reasons why it makes sense that Supergirl would be stronger than Superman. And first we want to just look at the physics behind Superman. What is it exactly that makes Kryptonians strong to begin with? And, according to the comics and many theorists and physicists who at some universities actually dive into the physics behind Superman, believe it or not, the constant idea of the strength behind Kryptonian, Superman, and Supergirl has been the size of their planet. Now, I could be mistaken, but the planet of Krypton might can fit like 100 Earths in it. It might be 100 times bigger than Earth, or maybe even bigger than that. I have to check those stats again, but anyway, Krypton has a great deal of gravity, more so than the Earth, just like Earth being a bigger planet than Mars, because Earth is a much larger planet, our gravity is stronger. So when you get on Mars, you can, you're a little bit stronger, you can jump further and things like that. That's how come they have to wear like suits to kind of hold them down, things like that. But, because of that, the way their bodies develop, the physiology of their body, they're very strong, so they can leap great distances. And that's also very interesting because, in the early days of Superman, before he was superpowered or developed into this superpower being by the comics, Superman would pretty much just leap. He wasn't really flying. We kind of got some of that in the Man of Steel in the beginning. He was just doing these giant leaps, and it seemed like he was flying. He was just kind of, sailing along the wind. But then he got more superpower, and we can see him levitating and things like that, and using type of psionics or whatever you want to call it, or gravitons or what have you. But, basically his body physiology made that possible with gravity. And we got to look at how old Superman was when he left Krypton. Superman was about, he was an infant, right? So his actual body didn't really get a chance to do much developing on Krypton, nor did it really get a chance to be used on Krypton. So, basically, that would be like, or rather, if you contrast that to Supergirl, who's pretty much like a teenager, or on Krypton, and she's walking around, and she's probably playing various sports they might play on Krypton, and doing physical things, and she's developing her body. She's developing this Kryptonian body on this planet with this very high gravity, and so that's making her body a lot stronger for Earth, right? So, it would make a great deal of sense, that her body would, be stronger. Now, some people would say, well, if Superman arrived as an infant, his body was able to process more of the yellow sun, and I believe it's called photonucleics or something like that. And help you understand what's going on with that. Kryptonians have organs in their body that absorb the yellow sun and convert it to a great deal of efficient energy, and they can do all these various things with all this energy. And so one could argue, well, Superman was was a yellow sun maybe longer than Kara, right? He spent more time on Earth. He spent more time under yellow sun. But Supergirl or Kara, if we look at the physiology of what creates what allows rather Kryptonians to even process the radiation from the yellow sun, is these organs that form in their bodies on Krypton. Now, my theory would be Kara or Supergirl's organs formed a great deal more than Kal-El's or Superman's, because again, she had more time to develop her body on Krypton. So my argument would be that because of that, that's going to make her stronger. So we got the gravity of the planet, we got the organs that allow them to process, and the yellow sun, not to mention whatever their diets might have been on Krypton. Like, I'm not sure if they, what helped further develop but whatever nutrients and whatever they were consuming on Krypton, I would imagine Kara got a lot more of that to develop her, her body. Things like that. So, her beating Superman made a lot of sense to me, but it's just still kind of strange, a little bit that we don't tend to think of Supergirl, as top-level superhero power, even though we think of Superman that way. And I imagine that's because he's a man, but we have to remember Kryptonian physiology doesn't work the way human physiology works. So guys, that's all I want to say about why I think Supergirl is stronger than Superman. I enjoyed the season end. Wanted to continue doing my reviews on Supergirl, but just got a bit busy, guys, and doing some other TV shows, and can only do so many at a time. But guys, comment, let me know if you think in terms of Supergirl being stronger than Superman. If you do, let me know. If you don't, tell me why you don't. If you like content like this, don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, guys, take care.